Finn lived in a Starlight Hero wagon. You could not understand the pure joy of having him go from a hospital bed into his favorite red wagon. Starlight doesn't just give items that hospitalized kids can use to keep themselves happy, but also memories, moments, and experiences which are so needed in times like these. They allow sick kids to just be kids for a little while. The support that Starlight provides to families like mine is an integral part to creating happiness at a time when there's very little to be found. Learn more about how Starlight Children's Foundation brightens the lives of sick kids by visiting starlight.org today.
Did you know that the average price of a used car is up over 40% from just a year ago? The cost of living has gone up, and the cost for auto repairs is rising as well. The car you have needs to last you longer than ever. So if your vehicle has less than 150,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all, you need to call CarShield at 800-523-8667. We've just announced a low-cost month-to-month vehicle service plan to help save thousands of dollars on out-of-pocket expenses for future auto repairs. While the cost for new and used cars continue to go up, CarShield offers protection plans at an all-time low. Drivers who activate their plan today will also receive 24/7 coast-to-coast roadside assistance, courtesy towing, and emergency tire, battery, and key lockout service. Call 800-523-8667 today to save 20% on your plan. That's 800-523-8667. Keep your car protected. Call 800-523-8667. Again, 800-523-8667.
Discover the magnificence of the Mediterranean with Alistair Begg and our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. 9 life-changing days of powerful worship, Bible study, and history. Sign up now, deeperfaithcruise.com.
Ask Alexa to play the word Pittsburgh to hear us there. We're on your Google speaker too, plus iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. 101.5 WORD-FM, Pittsburgh.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The Pentagon says a Chinese spy balloon has moved eastward and was over the central U.S., and that the U.S. rejected China's claims that it was not being used for surveillance. The U.S. military has ruled out shooting it down due to potential risk to people on the ground. The balloon, at an altitude of about 60,000 feet, was maneuverable and had changed course. 2 suspects arrested in a January shooting that killed 6 people in California, including a 10-month-old baby. The 6 victims were gunned down on January the 16th in rural Goshen, a community of some 3,000 in the San Joaquin Valley. The shooting believed to be gang-related. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 148 points and the Nasdaq off 186. This is SRN News.
I love you, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck. Hi there, it's me, Marcia from the Spring House. So, I'm wondering, what are you planning for your Valentine's sweetheart this year, besides a hug around the neck? How about a fun candlelight dinner at the Spring House? We'll be serving a delicious 4-course meal featuring wedding soup, reunion salad with honey balsamic dressing, grilled marinated flank steak, celebration chicken romano, Pearl's cheesy potatoes, buttered fresh green beans, Bev's secret recipe brown rolls, pink lemonade and coffee, and your choice of homemade dessert. When we served this at Valentine's Day last year, my son Nathan even said, "Mom, when I get married, that is the exact menu I want for my wedding." Oh my! All that good food plus wonderful serenading by amazing local artist Bob Podish. Hop onto our website at springhousemarket.com to make reservations for you and your sweetie today.
The word is out. People are abandoning their overpriced wireless carriers and flocking to Pure Talk for the same 5G coverage, but at a fraction of the price. In fact, the average family saves over $800 a year when switching from Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. And switching is so easy. You can keep your phone, keep your number, or get huge discounts on the latest iPhones and Androids. Right now, you can get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month. Or if you still want unlimited data, you can get that and still save a fortune. So make the switch and get the same coverage as the big guys, but at half the price. Go to puretalk.com, type in your address to find the coverage at your home, then enter promo code HALF-OFF, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. That's puretalk.com, promo code HALF-OFF. Switch to Pure Talk and get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month, because Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless.
Treat your someone special to an unexpectedly special Valentine's Day with a gift from Trinity Jewelers. From their beautiful crosses, diamond, pearl, and gemstone collections, Mark Helgerman and the custom jewelry experts at Trinity Jewelers will help you find or create the perfect gift to express exactly how you feel. Visit trinityjewelers.com today or find them aboard the Gateway Clipper at the Word FM Valentine Date Night, February 10th. Trinity Jewelers, your trusted custom jeweler for over 50 years.
This is Tim Seckler inviting you to tune in each and every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. right here on Word FM 101.5 for the Life and Legacy Show, sponsored by my law firm, the Seckler Law Firm. Each week, we'll talk about your family's well-being as it relates to elder law, nursing home stays, estate planning, and keeping your hard-earned savings. And if you missed the Life and Legacy Show, you will find it archived at secklerlawfirm.com. See you Saturday morning at 9 a.m. right here on Word FM 101.5 for the Life and Legacy Show.
It'll be breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy skies and cold tonight. We'll reach a nighttime low of 7. Times of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Tomorrow's high 33. A moonlit sky tomorrow night, the low 29, but temperatures rising into the middle 30s. Sunday will be mostly cloudy and windy. We'll see a dramatic warm-up after the brief Arctic blast we've experienced. We'll reach a high Sunday of 46. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem-Pittsburgh studios. And now here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
Sunny and bright, although it's a little chilly out there. A little chilly, but the sun. This is the third consecutive day in a row.
I know, of sunshine.
It's lovely. It's truly lovely. It could be minus 20 and the sun shining. We're okay.
Okay, you know what happened?
Tell me.
I got super hungry when these last 3 days. What's happened?
You're blaming the sun.
I think I am.
Really?
I think maybe it's like some kind of like metabolic reaction to the influx of vitamin D.
Yeah, who might have said no to that?
That's what it is?
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, so you've been eating.
I have been.
Very nice. Feels good, right?
Well, yeah. Of course, sunshine is really excellent.
Yep.
Plus, I'm making cauliflower soup tonight for the first time.
You're making cauliflower soup?
Yeah.
Cheddar cauliflower or just cauliflower?
I don't think there's any cheddar in there. All of a sudden, you're disappointed.
I mean, no, it's fine.
Like you were excited about the cauliflower soup, but now not so much.
Is it cream of cauliflower?
No.
Just cauliflower?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, I'm married to somebody who's lactose intolerant.
Oh, right. Or just intolerant.
Exactly.
I mean, I know the guy. I mean, he
has absolutely no patience for lactose.
None whatsoever. Hey, I was looking at the news today. 86-year-old Engelbert Humperdinck is touring.
Are you? I got to be honest, I didn't know he was alive.
Who is he? He's like Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. Yeah. They look the same. And they kind of sound the same.
And they're of the same era, of course, yeah. And I was also looking at the news. And do you recognize this at all? Lex, can you pull that up? And this is like back to my youth.
Okay. Desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain.
Yeah, so these guys are touring. Yeah, it's America.
You can't remember your name because there ain't no.
So you know this.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
I like a good la la line.
Oh,
I really do.
Go long way.
Yes.
I wonder if you compiled all the la-las and all the rock songs over there. That'd be a lot of la-las.
That would be.
Right?
It's good. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing. Lex, do you know that song?
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, 1973, they were the best new artists.
Really?
Right?
Were they the best new artists? Okay.
How about that song? Here's to all the lonely people.
I hate that song. Thinking that love has passed them by.
Yeah.
But don't give up until you drink from the silver cup.
Right. Speaking of La Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. La la la, la 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 la. Right? There's a la la. Yeah.
Yeah.
Asking only workmen's wages. Yeah, exactly. A lot of la-las.
What's that song?
Asking only workmen's wages.
Does that teach your children well? No.
But I get no offers just to come on.
You know this one, Lex? Come on, sing.
Nope.
Sing along, my friend.
No. Okay, there has to be a list somewhere of all the La La songs.
Yeah.
Or if not, maybe we should make
It's healthy to have a La La.
Well, it's just somebody riffing.
It's just good.
And it makes you feel good to sing La La.
It's good. It does. It's good for the community.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So on a Friday, we say to you, La La La.
La, la.
Very nice. Okay.
Speaking of the community, we have a lot of good things coming up in today's program. Working in Science by Faith, we're going to talk about the Laboratory of Creation with Dr. Benjamin McFarland, who's a biochemist, in the 5 o'clock hour. We have Frontier Airlines. Flying out of 3 Pennsylvania cities, has announced the unlimited summer pass. We're going to decide whether we might say yes or no to that.
That's a discount airline.
Kind
of shaky sometimes.
You think?
Well, just the discount. They're always kind of like.
I'm pretty sure it's run by American.
Is it? Okay. Do they fly out of Arnold Palmer?
They fly out of Pittsburgh.
Do they?
Yeah. I mean, they also might fly out of Arnold Palmer. Around 4:40, a future cringe. One day we're going to look back on this moment and wonder what we were thinking.
There's a lot to be cringy about.
There's so many things to be cringy about. And when it's current times, you think, oh no, this is the best thing ever. And then it's good to take a step back and
That's a horrible emotion, the cringe. Isn't it?
I think
I hate it.
Well, you watched The Office. You loved it.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's a really weird emotion because it's like backwards or something.
I have a child who hates it.
The cringe?
Yeah. I have a child who can't watch The Office or Arrested Development.
Well, I'm watching Better Call Saul. There's a lot of cringe. I have to shut it off and then take a walk. Sometimes I go away for a full day and then come back again and go, okay, I'm ready. Cringe is weird. It's not like anger. It's not like fear. It's not like joy. It's its own kind of psychological subset.
It brings on nausea. At least for me.
Get a brown paper bag while you're watching a show.
Exactly. Remember that other show I started watching? I had to put the blanket over my head. I had to keep a blanket.
Yep.
Seriously, I had to keep a blanket with me watching The Bear, which is on Hulu, so I could put it over my head because it was too tense. It wasn't that it was cringy or scary. I just couldn't stand the tension of it.
Maybe if you did la la la, it would be sort of like the anti-cringe kind of thing.
That's good.
Think about that.
That's a nice idea, John. Oh, is it too early for me to tell you?
Tell me what.
Your weekend has begun.
Fabulous. It is, what time is it? It's 10 minutes after the 4 o'clock hour. Thank you, everyone. Weekend's here. Cold, sunny.
Very excited about it.
February in Pittsburgh. Phil has said 6 more weeks, and so what the heck? Here we go. All right, you got some news?
Yep.
All right, then without further ado, please, Kath, give us the top 4 at 4.
For Friday, the 3rd of February, 2023, number 1. China acknowledged today that a high-altitude balloon spotted this week over Montana does in fact belong to them.
Yeah.
They're calling it a civilian device used for scientific research, such as meteorology.
Oh, yeah, sure. Research.
That even sounds fake.
We're researching.
That sounds like... It sounds like when someone's lying to you and you can see that their mind's trying to come up with something fast.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like to me.
Jags. Seriously.
Anthony Blinken has postponed his trip to China following the balloon discovery. Apparently, the Chinese Foreign Ministry says the airship was affected by the westerly wind, and China's ability to control its direction is, quote, limited.
Yeah, because it's a balloon.
They also said the balloon, quote, seriously deviated from the scheduled route. No kidding.
The Chinese government has seriously deviated from all manner.
Exactly. The U.S. views the Chinese explanation of the balloon's purpose with a fair amount of skepticism. Says
really?
CBS News.
Thank you.
Number 1.
That's number 2.
That was number 1.
You said number 1.
It is number 1.
But now I'm moving to number 2.
What
You said number 1, like you were moving to number 2, but it was actually...
Gosh, it's hard to keep up. Number 2.
There we go.
Good grief. A suspect has been arrested at the Dallas Zoo in connection with the 2 emperor tamarin monkeys that went missing. Some guy who's 24 years old was arrested by Dallas police last night. The monkeys, named Bella and Finn, I'm happy to tell you, are doing well after going missing on January 30th. They were found in a vacant house. Apparently, they were intentionally taken, but they're super happy to be back in their nest sack. Apparently, that's a thing that they live in. I don't know. And beyond losing a little bit of weight, they are A-okay.
Fabulous.
Number 3. Inspired by the life-saving medical attention Damar Hamlin received on the field during a game last month, the NFL and the American Heart Association will provide free CPR education in Arizona throughout Super Bowl week. I think that's a good thing.
Yep.
Do you know how to do CPR?
No, I do not.
Okay,
do
so if something happens to me, I
love you.
Got nothing.
You're on your own there, lady.
People who visit the Mobile Training Unit in Arizona will receive hands-only CPR training from experts and receive information to share with their community.
Excellent. How about the Damar Hamlin conspiracy theorist?
What, because you can't see his face?
Right. It's not. It's really him. It's a body double. It's all around. I mean,
people are so crazy.
Jumping on any train.
And exactly, on an A train. And number 4, is that the right number, John?
That is number 4. Number 4.
Dangerously cold air from the Arctic roared into, well, here today, and is poised to become even more frigid tonight into Saturday morning. Parts of Maine could endure their most extreme wind chills in at least a generation. And that is your top 4 at 4.
How come all the headlines in historic this or in a generation, everything is like, whoa, meant to wow us.
That's your top 4 at 4.
Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
Like how it just faded away.
We're done with it.
Sorry. No, I like it.
It's number 1.
I liked
She's
it.
mad.
It was there.
She's had
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Listen to this.
Number 1.
Nearly 50 million Americans in 15 states will find themselves under wind chill alerts today into tomorrow.
15 states?
50 million Americans.
Burr, that's cold. That's once in a generation we're all doing that.
Wind chills are projected to bottom out between minus 50 and minus 65, but not here. That is in western Maine and the summit of Mount Washington in New Hampshire. Oh, guess what? That summit, the prediction, negative 100.
Negative 100?
That's what it says.
In Maine?
That's what it says. No, do you listen to me when I talk?
La, la, la.
Mount Washington in New Hampshire.
La, 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 la. Richard Mouw's next 3 things I would tell my younger self.
101.5 WORD.
Plan now to join Word FM aboard the Gateway Clipper. It's our Valentine Dinner Cruise, Friday, February 10th. A special night out for sweethearts, couples, and friends. Enjoy a delicious dinner buffet in the romantic warmth of the Gateway Clipper's Empress as you take in spectacular views of the city skyline. Boarding time is 6 p.m. Book now at wordfm.com. Sponsored in part by Trinity Jewelers and Cornerstone Television.
Let's be real. Retirement is expensive, and inflation is making it even harder with the cost of everything going up from pet food to a dozen eggs. Wouldn't it be great if the cost of your health care could go down? Well, MediShare 65 Plus is $99 a month for ages 65 to 74. And for many with Medicare Parts A and B, looking at other options, that's 50% or more saved per month. No gimmicks. It's $99 a month, and you can use any Medicare-approved doctor or facility, and you get 24/7 access to telehealth from the convenience of your home. Better yet, MediShare is a Christian nonprofit organization. It's a community that'll pray for you and encourage you. And since we've cut out the middleman, you get to keep the savings. Call now. You can learn more about MediShare 65 Plus. Here's the number: 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE-55. 833-SHARE-55.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-746-3737. 800-746-3737. 800-746-3737.
Rhema Christian School is a private school in Moon Township serving children in preschool through 8th grade. Recognized for its commitment to a biblically integrated curriculum that nurtures a Christian worldview and academic excellence, Rhema aims to develop the whole child, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. Rhema is a true community of families who desire to raise up the next generation of godly leaders, also offering programs for homeschool families. Accepting enrollment now for the current school year and opening soon for the 2023-24 school year. Visit rhemachristianschool.org.
Happy to have our friend Dr. Richard Mouw back with us, professor of faith and public life at Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena, California, where he served as president for 20 years. You can find out more about Richard by reading his writing, including the book Adventures in Evangelical Civility, among others that we'll talk about before the segment ends. Richard, my friend, how are you?
Kathy, good to hear your voice. I'm doing well, and it's great to be back with you.
Excellent, Richard. Now, listen, here in Pittsburgh, it's currently 14. You're in sunny Pasadena. How are things there?
Yeah, it's a nice day. We're getting some sunshine, and in the 60s. It's not real warm, but it's comfortable.
Okay, give me like, what
60s?
Are we talking about?
60s.
The 60s, yeah.
60s. It's comfortable. Well, you're from Cleveland, aren't you, Richard, originally from Cleveland?
No, hey, I'm a Jersey boy, New Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah, originally, yeah.
Okay, so then you know what it's like to
you
be
paid
cold.
your dues.
Oh, I know what it's like. Yeah, and I lived in Grand Rapids, for 17 years.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, forget it. You've served.
Yeah, Richard, you have served. Richard, okay, so there you are, the emeritus professor there at Fuller, and, looking back at your life, I mean, you've lived a long and very interesting life, all the engagement. So when you look back as that kid in New Jersey, there has to be some things that you would want to tell your younger self, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I tell my younger self that you may not understand this right now, but when you get a chance, invest in Apple.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Invest in Apple would be a nice thing to say. Yeah.
No, but seriously, you can think of very specific things. I think of rather life direction things. Three things.
Yeah.
One is to tell myself to keep focused on the created dignity of all human beings who are created in the image of God. And that even when they're distorted and corrupted, that there still is something of that image there. So that when you're in the presence of another person, that's a kind of sacred experience, and we need to keep that. And obviously, as this teenage kid, I was going to face struggles in the country over civil rights, over the plight of Native Americans, but also of immigrants, of people with whom I disagreed, who later on I would come to agree with, and that the respect for other people, that would be a very important thing. And secondly, that I should, I was even as a teenager, I like to argue with my Catholic friends and even many of my fellow evangelical friends, to find a healthy place in the middle when there are a lot of extremes around, I'm not saying that the middle of the road is always the right place to be. But obviously when we have people shouting at each other, try to find a healthy place to stand between the angry crowds, between the inflated rhetoric and the like. And then here is a piece of advice, this is my third one, that I got from David Brooks, the columnist for the New York Times, who's become a friend. But he wrote in one of his books that as we think about living our lives and what we want to be remembered for, we should think more of eulogies than we do of resumes. He said, you don't want your grandkids standing at your funeral and saying, well, my grandfather, he has this much in the bank, and he belongs to these organizations, and he wrote these books. What you want him to say is, he was a good grandfather. He loved his grandkids. He was faithful to his wife, all of those kinds of things. And to me, that's so important that too many times we live our lives to build up our resumes.
Yeah.
And those are not the things that people will use to remember us for. Yeah. So that's my advice to my teenage self.
Those are good things. I mean, those are three things. I think all of them have the very long view of life in common, don't they?
Yeah.
Oftentimes we get so busy, here it is Friday afternoon, and Kath and I come in always on a Friday afternoon. Richard, I'm sure, in your busy days as well, you're like, phew, okay, that was a heck of a week. We did this and this and this and this and this. And, everything's so busy, and we tend to, we're looking at the tight view, the view that's in front of us, and not the long view.
Yeah, no, that's right. And, I can say in this context with you two and with your listening audience that those are biblical issues,
Yeah.
In each case, we need to think about ways in which we can live lives that are godly, lives that are Christ-like, that are pleasing to God. And I think if we concentrated on those things, they wouldn't... we're not going to do things that will earn our salvation. That's already been done in Christ. But it's the way that people who have received that salvation ought to live, I think. Yeah.
We're talking to Dr. Richard Mouw, Professor of Faith and Public Life at Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena, California. Richard, if you're talking to your younger self, would you tell your younger self to read different things or learn different things?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of happy with the lifelong trend of my reading life. When I was in those teenage years, what I was reading? I was reading books about Christian boys. There were people would give me, my parents and grandparents and friends would give me these novels, the Sugar Creek Gang stories. And the Sugar Creek Gang were, they weren't quite like the kids I hung around with. They didn't use bad words, and they didn't seem to be all that interested in girls. They were interested in adventure.
Yeah.
And yet they kind of were a model for me. And but 10 years later, I was reading Plato. I was reading Aristotle.
Right.
I then was reading John Calvin and Martin Luther and Francis Schaeffer and all those good books that have really influenced my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would have wanted to tell my teenage self that there's a big world out there, and that you have to read the kind of people who will build you up. I also read unbelievers. I used to assign my students in the seminary with a course in the course with a book called "Why I Am Not a Christian" by Bertrand Russell.
Mm-hmm.
And I would want people to read stuff that would challenge them, but help them to think through why they do believe. And so not a lot of junk stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff out there about religion and why religion is bad, or even why religion is wonderful. Yeah. So reading, yes, that's a good question, Kathy. That's a very important question. What do you tell your teenage self about what you should read? I think I've been pretty happy with that, though.
That's good.
And I would imagine, Richard, as a young man, reading the Sugar Creek books, the Sugar Creek Gang books, were the soil that allowed you a decade later to engage in Aristotle and Plato and, much further on, of course, David Brooks and the contemporaries of our lives.
Yeah, no, that's right. It was actually reading a Sugar Creek Gang book early one morning in bed. And I was overwhelmed with a sense that I wanted to be strong in my faith like they were, you know. And I went in, I got my dad out of bed. He was kind of groggy. But I asked him to pray for me. That was an important moment in my life.
I bet it was, yeah. It's interesting. So I think of my dad a lot. Kath, of course, her dad's passed as well. I know, she thinks of her dad. I'm sure your dad's probably been gone for many decades, but still he's a part of your life.
Yes, yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I've been lately, since my stroke, when I lay in the hospital, I decided that my nightly prayers would begin with the prayer I prayed as a kid. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray thee, Lord, my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray thee, Lord, my soul to take. And I pray that every night. And then I would go on and say, God bless Mommy and Daddy, Grandma and Grandpa, and I'm thinking, well, they're all gone now, so I don't go on for that. But I remember that, and I think I'm grateful for those people and what they've meant in my life.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
But we're grateful, Richard, for what you've meant in our life. I mean, not that we're saying goodbye because we're going to talk to you in a month, but still.
But it's good. Your position is unique for us, Richard, because, who you are and the breadth and depth of your career and your theology and all the people that you've engaged with and taught, we're recipients of that. So we're grateful for that time with you.
Well, and I'm grateful for what you folks are doing. I just think you have a wonderful area of Christian service, a real ministry.
You're kind of, we're trying not to be too extreme, Richard.
That's right. We're trying to find a healthy middle in a land of extremes.
Yes. And, the people out there need to hear calm voices addressing important issues. And so we got to stay calm.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, make sure that we're strong in what we believe.
And have some fun while we're doing it.
That's what I like about you guys, too.
Love you, Richard. Good to talk to you.
Talk soon, Richard. Bye.
Hey, love you, folks. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
you as well.
Love you, too.
Dr. Richard Mouw. He's an incredible guy.
Yeah, check out
Adventures in Evangelical Civility.
Calvinism in the Las Vegas airport.
The Smell of Sawdust. And the newest, Restless Faith. Richard Mouw.
What if I told you you can save a baby's life for just $28? Well, it's true. Preborn is a ministry doing just that with the help of people like you by offering free ultrasound sessions to pregnant girls and women who otherwise might choose to end their pregnancy. We know that pregnant girls and women who can see their babies on ultrasound are far more likely to choose life. Your gift today can save babies' lives. Just $28 can give a mother the chance to see the truth of the baby that is growing inside her. $140 can do this for 5 girls and women. Whether you want to save one baby or 5 or hundreds, that opportunity is just a click or a phone call away. Call 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. Or you can do it safe and secure online by clicking on the Preborn banner at wordfm.com.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you got to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. I know, it's mind-blowing. Towels that actually dry you. Their 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors, and right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $49.99 with promo code WORD. Or go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener special. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and have their 60-day money-back guarantee. To receive this amazing offer on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, enter promo code WORD, or call 800-391-0954. That's 800-391-0954. Or visit MyPillow.com, promo code WORD.
What if, instead of focusing on how students can serve the market, educators focused on how schools can serve students? Trinity Christian School in Forest Hills invites you to discover what a classical Christian education can offer your child. Saturday, February 4th from 10 to 11:30. Meet the teachers, tour the school, enjoy brunch, and get all your questions answered about the holistic approach to education that works with the grain of your child's God-given curiosity. For more information, visit trinitychristian.net.
We are everywhere. On your radio at 101.5 WORD-FM Pittsburgh, at wordfm.com, the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
It's a great time of year to be outdoors, fishing in local streams, splashing through creeks. We all assume these waters are safe, but for most streams, no one knows. That's a problem we can do something about. The Isaac Walton League of America can help us get started, from stream cleanups to simple water quality tests. Visit iwla.org today. That's iwla.org.
It'll be breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy skies and cold tonight. We'll reach a nighttime low of 7. Times of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Tomorrow's high 33. A moonlit sky tomorrow night, the low 29, but temperatures rising into the middle 30s. Sunday will be mostly cloudy and windy. We'll see a dramatic warm-up after the brief Arctic blast we've experienced. We'll reach a high Sunday of 46. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
Time now for this or that. Every Friday we have a list. This one or that one. We make a choice. Kath has a list. I've got a list. Kath, you or I?
I'm ready to receive.
All right.
In the parlance of $25,000 pyramid.
The Friday, February 3rd edition of this or that. Greenland, Antarctica.
Well, John, in all the debates I've had in my mind over those two, I choose Greenland, I guess.
Yeah, because it is Greenland.
Yeah.
The swallows return to Capistrano. Groundhog Day.
Oh, Groundhog Day.
Oh, really?
I like the swallows, but...
Traveling on the QE2. Traveling on the Orient Express.
Oh, I think I have a fascination with the Orient Express.
Agatha Christie.
Yeah,
Lake Erie. Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan.
Hey.
Sorry.
Dieting. Working out.
Oh, I would choose working out over dieting. Thank you for asking.
Sleeping in. Staying up late.
Oh, so both so very
Lovely.
good. I enjoy them both so much. I would say staying up late being my favorite.
Wonder Woman. Catwoman.
Eartha Kitt, right? She was Catwoman.
A lot of
Lindsay, not Lindsay Wagner. Who?
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter with a Y. I choose Wonder Woman.
St. Francis of Assisi. St. Patrick.
How are you supposed to pick between saints? Who picks
that?
between saints?
You do?
I know more about St. Francis, so I'm going to pick him.
All right. Cranberry juice. Pomegranate juice.
I don't like pomegranate juice.
What?
It's too much.
Come on.
I like it like a pomegranate flavored something, but the pomegranate juice, too much.
Okay.
No, I choose cranberry.
A wet sleeve.
I hate that.
A wet collar.
Oh, how nasty. I think I'm going to pick the collar. I hate the sleeve.
Don't you?
I hate it.
Spray cheese. Count Chocula cereal.
That's the thought of them together is so disgusting. I think I would choose. Well, neither are natural, are they?
No.
I guess I go with spray cheese.
Yay, spray cheese. REI. REM.
REM.
Hey.
I liked REM.
Okay. New car smell. New baby smell.
Oh, both so good, but nothing beats new baby
No,
smell.
of course not. Right.
I love new baby smell.
Very nice. That's my this or that.
I love that. That's very good, John.
Excellent. Thank you.
I don't know if you've noticed, but it's quite cold.
I have.
Have you noticed that? So in that spirit, I am going to deliver to you the frozen edition of this or that.
Excellent. Very good.
Are you ready for it?
Bring it.
Are you sure?
Come on.
Number 1. Anna or Elsa?
Oh. Anna.
Okay. Number 2. Sid or Gino?
Sid.
Number 3. Sid or Mario?
Ay. Mario.
Okay. Number 4. In the frozen edition of this or that. Baked Alaska or spumoni?
I'm not a fan of either of them, to be honest.
Well,
baked Alaska.
Okay, it is this or that. Yeah. Number 5, bomb pop or dreamsicle?
Oh.
You know what a bomb pop is?
Yeah. Oh, give me the dreamsicle. I like that.
Yeah, that orange and vanilla
that's good,
thing.
yeah.
Dreamsicle or orange push-up?
Yeah, the orange push-up is like, childhood sort of nostalgia. I'm going there.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too.
Do they still make those?
I'm sure they do.
I
yeah.
like the orange push-up.
Probably $9, but they still make them.
That's very. I think it was a quarter when the ice
ball
cream.
man.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Number 7, hot springs in Iceland or sauna in Sweden?
I like to do both. I like to go to Sweden.
Okay.
Give me the sauna.
Would you like to go to Sweden? Number 8, Scott Hamilton or Brian Boitano?
That's Scott Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like Scott. Number 9, you have to make it 1 mile down a snowy road, John.
Yeah.
You will get there faster if you wear snowshoes or if you wear cross-country skis.
Oh, I'm wearing snowshoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if
a
you
little
feel
more
like
stability,
you feel
I
like
feel.
you can manipulate those?
Yeah.
You confident in that?
No, but I'll give it a shot.
Number 10.
Yeah.
Biathlon.
Yeah.
Or two-man luge.
Oh, two-man luge. And I'm going to sit behind the guy.
Or you have to either sit on top of the guy.
Yeah.
Or underneath the guy.
Boom. There I go. Yeah.
You're good with that?
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Really?
How bad can that be?
I think it could be pretty bad.
Be flat. You're just flying. Boom.
With no control. I'm not going to argue this with you now.
Okay, it's this or that. It's mine.
Number 11.
Thank you.
Slapshot.
Oh.
The movie.
Yeah, it's good.
Or Ice Castles.
Oh, Slapshot. Slapshot.
I couldn't even.
Paul Newman.
I couldn't even stop laughing myself. Frozen Milky Way or frozen peppermint patty?
Oh, frozen Milky Way.
Number 13, frozen Coke or one of the 15 neon colors of Slurpee they have at Sheetz.
No, Coke. Frozen Coke all the way.
Do any of those neon colors disturb you?
I'm not even going to go there with those.
It doesn't even look good to me.
No, it has no appeal to me.
The last one. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Ice fish or elk hunt?
Elk hunt. Why not? I'm probably not going to shoot it. I'm just going to walk around and feel good about it.
Starting this Monday, it's Real Life Radio with Pastor Jack Hibbs.
You need to come after me and search for me just like you do when you lose your car keys. That's what that word means. Leave no stone unturned. Pillows are flying, couches moving. Where's my keys? That's the same word. Did you see it? The Lord says, come after me like that. Get out of my way. Move. Where's Jesus? I got to worship. I got to find a meaning to life. I don't want religion. I want God.
Real Life Radio with Jack Hibbs starting Monday at 11:30 a.m. on 101.5 Word FM.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxitril, the all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxitril is so powerful, that's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitril free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitril dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-551-4182. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-551-4182. That's 800-551-4182.
Do you have a loved one entering a nursing home? There's a lot at stake.
This is Jay Hagerman of Abernathy & Hagerman. Depending on your family's long-term care goals, there are important decisions that should be made before a facility is needed. Talk to a qualified legal professional today. At Abernathy & Hagerman, we can help your family navigate the complicated Medicaid rules so that you can properly save some or all of your life savings from a long-term care crisis. Before you apply, contact Abernathy & Hagerman at a-h.law.
When I look back at junior high.
Did you like junior high?
I like junior high.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But the one thing, I was obsessed about two things in junior high that I remember. Mm-hmm. One being that I really wanted leather Nikes. They were $29.99. Mm-hmm. And my mom would not let me get them. I had to get the Nikes that were $19.99.
Mm-hmm. See, she's a good mom.
Which I remember clearly. Mm-hmm. That was upsetting to me. The second thing was I could not get designer jeans. Mm-hmm. I was not able to.
Gloria Vanderbilt's.
So or Jordache or whatever they would be. So I could not ascend to another level socially.
Right. Because you were close, but not super cool.
Not close enough, really.
A nice girl who was practical.
And kind of forgettable.
But you think those Jordache would have made... Holy... Here comes Kathy. Here comes Kathy Bletchards.
I mean, now
she's got the look.
Yeah,
I want to know better. Right? Was that Jordache?
I think it might have
been.
it
was too.
That's very funny.
How could I remember that?
I have no idea.
It's really weird.
Anyway, so I look back and cringe at how important that was to me.
The cringe of your desire.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
super cringe.
My past cringe is worse than future cringe.
Oh, yeah.
You think, I used to really desire that? Really?
Right.
So, okay.
And I made a big deal out of how much I wanted that.
Oh, you're upset?
Oh, yeah.
When you say a big deal, were you like throwing a little hissy fit?
Yeah, I was like...
Did you get mad?
Well, no, I didn't. I retreated into silence.
Oh.
Yeah, when
Nanny
said no, I retreated into silence.
Sulking.
Uh-huh.
How did she respond to that, your mom?
I don't even remember her even noticing.
Uh-huh.
She was like, well, that's fine.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
Well, we as a family, of course, because there was like 800 of us, right. I always desired a pair of Chuck Taylors, you know?
Oh, yeah?
My mom would buy my tennis shoes at W.T. Grant.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's like G.C. Murphy's.
Oh, got it.
There were two stores in Swissvale, G.C. Murphy's and W.T. Grant. And, to be honest,
I'm guessing they weren't like cutting edge style at W.T. Grant.
No, I mean, like you said, the hipsters got, the Chuck Taylors. The first pair of tennis shoes I bought with my own money were a pair of gold suede Adidas.
Oh.
Man.
With white stripes?
They had a little star on them.
Okay.
I was so incredibly hip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not even
That's
cringy.
a little cringy, too. No, you're not even.
No, you kidding me? I mean, that was like...
You're offended that I even said the word cringe.
Yeah, stop.
Relation to this story.
I had oh my gosh. I think I've told you this before. When I moved to Manhattan, there was a Banana Republic. And I would walk by it daily. And there was a green shirt in there that I must have.
Right.
I must have. Uh-huh. And on a Saturday, I went in there and I bought that green shirt. I was like, I put that thing on, I'm walking down the street, and I thought to myself, you're so stupid.
Why? Because then you didn't want it anymore once you had it.
Exactly.
It was like no big deal.
No, I thought, it's so stupid. I coveted this thing for like weeks. Then I put it on walking down 57th Street thinking I was going to be all that. Nobody cared. And I didn't care either. Cringy. Yeah. Past fashion cringe.
The New York Times posted an article called Future Cringe. One day we'll look back at this moment and wonder, what were we thinking?
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting article, and you can check out the whole thing at the Times website if you're a member. But they have asked different people who are artists, authors, poets, whatever, fashion designers, investment bankers, all sorts of people across the spectrum. What do you think in the future we are doing now will make you cringe? We talked about this the other day in the 5 o'clock hour of the show. I thought we'd revisit the topic in the 4 o'clock hour today.
We made our confessions.
Yeah, for sure. Let me bring up a couple things that are on the website, John. Testing people based on memorized information will become an awkward memory.
That's really interesting. Because that's mostly what tests are made up of, right?
Right.
The teacher recites some things, you study, memorize them, regurgitate it, and then you get graded on the regurgitation.
Right. And
that's not really learning.
They're saying that'll be an awkward memory because not only will we have the internet, but we will have a certain level of AI, which is going to, they said, the same way we look back on the ridiculousness of grading kids by the quality of their handwriting 100 years ago, we'll look back at tests based on memorization as a colossal waste of time and talent.
However, I told you this, I uncovered my grandfather's 1949 war book, where he got, his little tickets for food.
His ration book?
Yes. His handwriting, I mean, he was a blue-collar guy, is impeccably beautiful.
Yeah,
So
my handwriting
stinks. Right? I mean, you look at people's handwriting today, most people are not handwriting, they're just printing poorly. So that's not cringy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what was the other thing?
But they're talking about the cringiness of grading students based on their penmanship.
How will AI alter education and what we consider learning?
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, I was happy to see that, Chat GPT is now coming out with some function that schools will have access to so that they can determine whether someone has downloaded an AI-based paper or did their own. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness.
Somebody says here in this article that we'll cringe about pushing domestic pets in baby strollers. That's, when I see that, don't you laugh?
I laughed. I laugh every time.
I know you love your pets and everything and you want to take them for a walk.
But that's just silly, isn't it? That's silly. Okay, listen to this. Crystal Mosell's a filmmaker. She said, I'm embarrassed we didn't create a campaign for forgiveness. I think there will probably be a wave of it because of all the cancel culture. I think the next thing that's going to happen is people actually wanting to forgive and giving people chances and opportunities for change. I think generally our planet needs that shift so badly, and so I think we'll be embarrassed that we let cancel culture go on for so long. That would be a welcome relief.
Maybe cancel culture has reached its zenith.
Well, that would be great.
Right?
Because it is a merciless...
Stupid.
It is a merciless online world.
We try people in the court of public opinion and deem them unworthy to join the rest of us in the world.
Yep.
I mean, people are people.
We're hard on people. We are hard on people.
Okay, then to the extreme, like someone like Harvey Weinstein, he's a criminal.
He is a criminal.
Right? He's in jail for rape, any number of things. No, he was canceled before he was charged with the crimes. Is lawlessness part of cancel culture? Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, it's a good question. Is lawlessness part of cancel culture? Well, that would be the extreme of it, and I certainly hope we don't get there. But there has to be, like, when you see somebody like Harvey Weinstein being punished as he is, I think you have to...
That's justice.
You have to experience a duality of saying that is justice, but also that's so sad. I mean, when you see Harvey Weinstein now, just... With the walker? It is very, very sad. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be in prison, but I'm also saying that I'm looking at a fellow human being and seeing that is such an incredible decline.
Yeah, but when I see him with a walker now, when I first saw that, me being, I thought, oh, that's theater. Some of that's theater. Walking into the courtroom as a stooped over old man. Mm-hmm. When you think about the things that he's been convicted or, accused of, and you think about all of us, I indict myself, all of our appetites, all the things that we desire, right? Mm-hmm. And then how time has its effect on all of us, those desires fade away. And we become, in essence, the truth of how God intended us to be, right? Which is wholly dependent upon Him.
Or we become just a shriveled mess of what we let ourselves become, if God isn't a part of it.
Yeah.
It's like Gollum in, Lord of the Rings.
Right. But I'm sure Harvey Weinstein in his cell replays those memories of his exploits.
You say you're sure, but you don't know that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he does. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying he regrets those, but he replays those. What's that playback look like in his life, and how does he associate? I mean, does he still enjoy the memory of that, or regret that, or fear that, and now knows that what he's done?
Or has he repented from that and said, I should never have done that?
Right. I mean, that's just time, and energy, and the failure of all of us not being in correct relationship with God.
Yeah,
that's just human nature.
It's a scary story. Anyway, you can read more at the Times website about future cringe. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, study finds some of the strangest reasons that couples break up. It's coming up next. It's the Friday edition. Right home.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you got to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. I know, it's mind-blowing. Towels that actually dry you. Their 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors, and right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $49.99 with promo code WORD. Or go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener special. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and have their 60-day money-back guarantee. To receive this amazing offer on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, enter promo code WORD, or call 800-391-0954. That's 800-391-0954. Or visit MyPillow.com, promo code WORD.
What if I told you you can save a baby's life for just $28? Well, it's true. Preborn is a ministry doing just that with the help of people like you by offering free ultrasound sessions to pregnant girls and women who otherwise might choose to end their pregnancy. We know that pregnant girls and women who can see their babies on ultrasound are far more likely to choose life. Your gift today can save babies' lives. Just $28 can give a mother the chance to see the truth of the baby that is growing inside her. $140 can do this for 5 girls and women. Whether you want to save 1 baby or 5 or hundreds, that opportunity is just a click or a phone call away. Call 833-850-BABY. That's 833-850-2229. Or you can do it safe and secure online by clicking on the Preborn banner at wordfm.com.
Treat your someone special to an unexpectedly special Valentine's Day with a gift from Trinity Jewelers. From their beautiful crosses, diamond, pearl, and gemstone collections, Mark Halgerman and the custom jewelry experts at Trinity Jewelers will help you find or create the perfect gift to express exactly how you feel. Visit TrinityJewelers.com today or find them aboard the Gateway Clipper at the Word FM Valentine Date Night, February 10th. Trinity Jewelers, your trusted custom jeweler for over 50 years.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Some of the strangest reasons people break up. Can you think of any strange reason that you broke up with someone in your dating career before marriage? Lexi, perhaps I should have asked him this question before we went live on the air.
I don't really want to go there.
Okay,
I mean,
that's fine.
Bad enough I'm telling you about my tennis shoes and green shirt.
No, it's a good point.
Okay.
I actually, Lexi, I got to be honest, at this point, I'm regretting I asked him the question.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
However,
some things you don't want to revisit because you know what I mean? Her and, you know.
Right.
I mean,
can I go back to the source material
those
then?
Poor things. Those poor girls.
This is from SWNS.com. Yeah. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, the strangest reasons Americans have called it off.
Yeah.
A poll of 2,000 adults. Are you ready?
Yeah, please tell me.
Over half of them, 65%, have ended relationship because of an ick. ICK, some trait that turns them off.
Sure.
Something that someone is doing. Like, you've got to be kidding. What are you doing?
Yeah, you know, the prince of all that is Seinfeld.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, his reasons of why he breaks up with numerous girlfriends.
That's exactly
they're
what
fabulous.
that is. They really are.
Yeah.
Being too clingy, being rude to waiters.
Oh. Don't be a jerk.
Ugly tattoos.
Yeah.
Dirty fingernails.
Yikes.
These are some of the ones cited by the poll of 2,000 adults. 88% of them have ghosted someone completely.
I don't like that
at all.
That is not
good. I do not like that. I really, really don't like that.
Okay, I remember that. I think about this often, but because a good friend of mine back in college, I just think about this because, like, it's a good hygiene thing.
Well, where is this going?
His girlfriend, he broke up with this girl, and he said to her, I really like you, but you don't wash behind your ears.
What?
So when I'm washing behind my ears, I always think of her.
I don't think
she was a lovely girl.
But she needed to wash behind her ears.
Hey, Jeff was like, I'm done. You know, you're behind your ears are dirty.
That qualifies as a strange reason for breaking up with someone. Nearly a sixth, 15% of the people that were polled have called it quits with a romantic interest because they were obsessed with star signs.
What do you mean? Like astrology?
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that stupid? 14% ended it with someone who clapped when a plane landed.
What? I can understand why you'd clap when a plane lands. Some people are terrified of flying. They just want to be on the ground.
An eighth of men, 14%, have broken it off with someone who wanted to share food on a first date.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a little too much. Don't you think?
16% of women found wearing a tacky watch is an ick.
A tacky watch. Well, it's a style indicator.
15% of those surveyed said they judged someone else for referring to their favorite sports team as if they were part of the actual team. like we looked good in the last game.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sports ball.
The study was commissioned by upscale dating site Seeking. And 21% of people said that if any person they were dating was ever rude to a waiter, they'd be gone.
Just 20?
21%.
I'm surprised by that. All right. Well, the way that, the swipe culture of dating is now, I mean, that's a high reason.
101.5 WORD-FM Pittsburgh. On your smart speaker by saying, play the word Pittsburgh. And on your phone via the Word FM mobile app, iHeart, TuneIn, and Odyssey.
Investments.com.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Retired Navy Admiral James Stavridis tells the Salem Radio Network he's not certain the suspected Chinese spy balloon seen floating over Montana amounts to a serious effort by the Chinese Communist Party to gather intelligence.
I'm not sure they deliberately are driving this balloon over the United States, and they're kind of backpedaling themselves. But yeah, we shouldn't be in the business of allowing anything floating around over the United States from a foreign power.
Stavridis says the U.S. should show great caution in shooting the balloon down, as it could result in debris falling in populated areas. China claims the balloon was being used as a floating research ship when it went off course. The balloon over the central U.S. moving eastward at 60,000 feet. The Dow is down 172 points, the Nasdaq off 188. This is SRN News.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Before I came to RPTS, I was a church planter and pastor for 22 years. And I found a lot of confusion about what really constitutes a church.
Dr. Barry York, president of RPTS.
We want, first and foremost, our ministers to know what a church is and what the church really needs. So how to develop the preaching ministry, why we practice the sacraments, how to properly care for God's people, and that you exercise proper oversight of them.
The church needs servants like you. Are you ready? Visit rpts.edu.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com, and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
It'll be breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy skies and cold tonight. We'll reach a nighttime low of 7. Times of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Tomorrow's high 33. A moonlit sky tomorrow night, the low 29, but temperatures rising into the middle 30s. Sunday will be mostly cloudy and windy. We'll see a dramatic warm-up after the brief Arctic blast we've experienced. We'll reach a high Sunday of 46. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
Welcome to another edition of The Ride Home with John and Kathy, live from the Salem-Pittsburgh studios. And now here are your hosts, John Hall and Kathy Emmons.
I have friends who retired a couple of years ago, and they made a beeline to Florida. Sold their house here in Pittsburgh, said goodbye to family and friends, and went to Florida. And in short order, in less than 9 months, they were both posting on Facebook saying, "This was a mistake. We are coming back home." I think that's a fairly common thing. Do you think that's true?
Well, I don't know how common it is, but I know people. I have friends of my parents who were in similar circumstances.
Did they?
And your parents did that too, didn't
My
they?
mom and dad did the exact same thing. Now, my father is having health problems, so they thought it'd be better for him to be,
Yeah.
But they got down there, and we had a lot of family. I had extended family living in Florida. They were there for a few years. They packed up and came back, which I was thrilled. I have no desire.
Yeah, I have no interest in leaving a community that you are a part of.
You've nurtured and grown, and
I would
it's
never
become family.
I
all
would
these
never
years.
want to do that.
I'm going to go someplace and start over. I'd like to be a snowbird.
Would you?
Oh, 100%.
See, I don't even.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Really? You have no desire to do that?
No, I don't.
I would gladly leave January 2 and come back April 1.
You know what? But see, I would have no desire to be a snowbird. But if I could go spend a month in some city in France, or go spend a month in some city in Germany
in the winter.
Yes,
yeah.
I would really
Just to
love
break
to.
it up.
I would really love to do that.
That's
I
cool.
think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, be excellent.
Are you offering me any of those options?
No, I'm not. No, but you could do that. I mean, fairly like you could go to like Portugal or Spain. There's still many places. Yeah, you
probably could.
You could go to a small village in Italy somewhere.
Yeah,
and live in it. Probably on your 401k and your savings.
Because I was very surprised when I was in Europe how much cheaper it was once you're there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's expensive to get there. And I wasn't in a place like Switzerland, which is super expensive. I was only in Germany and the Netherlands, but I couldn't believe how inexpensive it was to live, to eat out, to go to hotels. Much cheaper than here.
What about your language barrier?
Very bad.
That's the problem.
Very, very bad.
If you don't know.
If you're in a city, you're fine.
Where do you want to go? If you want to go to France.
I would love to go to France. I don't speak a lick of French.
France has to be expensive.
Well, I know Switzerland is very expensive.
I mean, I spent a few weeks in
Portugal's not, right?
No, Portugal's not. And Spain is still inexpensive as well.
Okay.
You could go there and live for an extended period of time and spend probably a lot less there than you would
Rent
here.
Somebody's apartment for a month.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do. Instead of going and spending a week in Paris, which, believe me, if you offered me a week in Paris, I would say yes. But instead of doing that, I would rather just be immersed for a while and kind of figure it out. Because the problem with being in a foreign country, I mean, you and I both traveled a lot, is you get there and by the time you feel even remotely capable, you're leaving.
Yeah.
How long were you in Europe?
5 months.
Oh,
5.5 months.
See, that's really nice.
Yeah, it was a nice long soak.
Yeah, that's really, really nice.
I just ran out of money.
Well,
I spent the last month or so living on someone's roof.
A pitched one? Or
no, it was a flat roof.
That's a relief.
And I didn't even care.
Mm-hmm.
The heck, I'm just going to hang out. I spent as little money as possible, like $2 a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, you see that it's so cold. Now, we talked about this yesterday. I thought about it. There's something about this hibernation thing that we all grow used to. I love this. We're deep into hibernation now, right? It feels good.
Right. So you were saying before the show started, your wife's going to make mushroom soup tonight and turkey chili tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. I'm making cauliflower soup tonight. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow I'm making salmon in a cast iron skillet.
I'm going to clean the basement on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I got some work to do down there.
I really do like that.
Psychologically, it feels really good. Right? So if Richard Mouw we had on earlier from Pasadena, California, he said, it's 60-ish. Well, my guess is probably one, he doesn't have a basement. Two, he's not going to spend the weekend working on it because, it'd be nice to be outside, right? I like to be outside because as soon as springtime comes, everybody's lawnmowers, chainsaws, construction projects, and then you're busy. You click into another gear. But this is sort of like a forced downtime in a way. At least that's how I think of it. I don't know if anybody else thinks of it, but I do. That there's just a different feel to...
Do you sleep more?
I'm older now. And I think I sleep now because I'm older. I sleep more because I'm older. You're not me. You're going to bed late. You're still staying up till 2?
Well, this week I tried to be better. So last night I stayed up late, but all the other nights I was in bed by midnight, which is early for me.
When I was an actor, I would generally go to bed at 4 a.m. And there's the beauty of being awake at 3 a.m. by yourself in the wee small hours.
It's so great.
Oh,
it's so great.
It's magical, isn't it?
I know.
It's really delicious.
I really miss it.
I love it
when I don't do it.
But now I got to be honest. It's 10:15, and I'm like, okay, I am going to bed, and I feel good about it. Then I'll read a little bit, hang out, but easily lights out well before 11 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah.
Lexi, what's your schedule like?
My schedule is I scramble to get here at 10:30, and then I leave, and then I stay up till 12:30, 1 o'clock, probably.
Yeah.
Which is
reluctantly.
Reluctantly, because my significant other works from 3 to 11, and he works an hour away from where we live, so he gets home at 12, and so that time is when we hang out.
Oh, right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of complicates things.
Yeah. So that's why I go to bed at 2 in the morning. If I had it my way, I'd go to bed at midnight and be done with it.
Be done with it.
Right.
I don't know. I just, I love the idea of staying up late, but I just don't have it in me anymore.
Okay.
I just can't.
All right. So going back to the snowbird thing, which of course you're bringing up because it's so cold in Pittsburgh today. It's incredibly cold in Pittsburgh. And so people who are, able to leave may have already gone. Or if people decided not to, this could be the thing that puts them over the edge. Says, you know what, next year I really am going to try to get out of here.
Right.
I mean, we did a story earlier in the week on U-Haul, and they released their numbers for 2022, the numbers of U-Haul trips one way that were taken and where they went to. So that means that if it's one way, people are moving, right?
Right. And they're coming back.
It's everybody moving to southern states.
Right.
People are like, the top states were, the number one state was Texas, but the other states were Florida. For some reason, Ohio was in there. But the other ones are, Virginia, South Carolina, Arizona.
I mean, I did this for 3 years. Twice I worked for the Florida State Theater. Once I worked for this little pirate playhouse on Sanibel Island. And they'd fly you down right after New Year's, and then you'd spend the entire winter doing theater. And then I hit back New York City like early April. And so I missed winter. I ate fresh tomatoes all winter long. I was tanned.
Did you miss winter?
No, I missed. No, did I miss it? Like miss it?
Yeah, like when you were there, you're like, wow, I really missed.
No, not. I could no. Mm-mm.
All right.
Will you miss winter?
Well, I've never been out of winter. I've never spent.
Do you think you would miss winter?
Well, I don't.
I don't think I would. No, I don't think you'd miss winter.
I was so cold this morning when I went out to scrape my car.
Yeah,
it was really cold.
Yeah, I don't want to fall and break my hip.
It's going to be negative 100 in that peak in New Hampshire tonight.
Gravy.
101.5 WORD, Pittsburgh's favorite Christian music on the weekends.
With the best new music.
New
music. New music from Casting Crowns, Desert Road.
On this desert road.
Something better from Blanca.
No, you turn it into something better.
And if the Lord builds the house, from Hope Darst. Celebrating 20 years of bringing Pittsburgh's favorites and the best new music.
101.5 Word FM on the weekend.
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck. Hi there, it's me, Marcia from the Spring House. So, I'm wondering, what are you planning for your Valentine's sweetheart this year, besides a hug around the neck? How about a fun candlelight dinner at the Spring House? We'll be serving a delicious 4-course meal featuring wedding soup, reunion salad with honey balsamic dressing, grilled marinated flank steak, celebration chicken romano, Pearl's cheesy potatoes, buttered fresh green beans, Bev's secret recipe brown rolls, pink lemonade and coffee, and your choice of homemade dessert. When we served this at Valentine's Day last year, my son Nathan even said, "Mom, when I get married, that is the exact menu I want for my wedding." Oh my! All that good food plus wonderful serenading by amazing local artist Bob Podish. Hop onto our website at springhousemarket.com to make reservations for you and your sweetie today.
You've spent your entire working life paying into it, so don't you want to get the most out of Social Security, squeezing it for all it's worth? Hi, this is Ethan Lane with Accurate Solutions Group. Our team can help show you ways to do that with our free Social Security report. It's a great first step to learn how your benefits can play a role in your overall retirement income plan, especially because the Social Security Administration can't give you advice. It's different for everyone, and there are a lot of factors that go into knowing exactly how to maximize your benefits, but based on the decision you make, you could end up with tens of thousands of extra dollars in retirement simply by being informed. Get this free Social Security report from Accurate Solutions Group by texting the word security to 412-515-3555. That's security to 412-515-3555. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management LLC. Firm offers insurance services and is not affiliated with the U.S. government.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund times 2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
It seems like for people who aren't in the sciences, but who talk about science, they see this bifurcation between science and faith, right? Two different worlds.
Big wall.
People could never subscribe to both. But over the years, we've talked to many scientists on the air here, and they have pretty much spoken with one voice and said, well, in their discipline, it's not like that. People are all, physicists are all different, or
it's porous.
Right. Chemists are different, or, botanists are different. Well, we're going to find out what biochemists are like, because we're talking to Dr. Benjamin J. McFarland. He's professor of biochemistry at Seattle Pacific University. He's going to be coming into Pittsburgh in just a couple weeks for the CCO's Jubilee Conference, which is going to be happening downtown. And we're happy to welcome you to the show, Benjamin.
Right, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Ben, it's rare, I think, maybe never, that we've ever talked to a scientist who has some sort of connection with medieval theology.
Oh, right, yeah. That's one of the benefits of working at a place like SPU. Seattle Pacific University is where I'm at. And I have friends who are philosophers and theologians. And actually a friend of mine, Rick Steele, a longtime theologian here, said, you'd really like this Maximus the Confessor guy. And so I took his word for it, and we actually started a reading group. So, yeah.
So Maximus, he talks about the idea of that God made us to be the laboratory of creation?
Yeah, that really blew me away when we read it. I was sitting in the book group, and I was asking them, I asked Rick and the others, one of us is a physicist. So he teaches physics, and he's a Greek Orthodox, and so he knows Greek, right?
Yeah.
So I asked him, is this the word Greek that you use if you're a scientist and you have a laboratory next door? And he's like, yeah, it's the exact word. So Maximus says, we are the laboratory of creation. And that sort of, that to me just combined everything that I wanted to say about why I do what I do.
I love it so much.
Talk about what that means for you in your daily work. I mean, give us a little window into how that applies.
Research and teaching.
Yeah, it's really combined. I mean, we set all these things apart, and, there's things that we put apart, we put divisions between them. Like we say there's a research lab and then there's teaching, and the students shouldn't go into the research lab until they are really prepared, right? But I think the best way to teach is actually to bring the students into the teaching laboratory, to have them do the experiments and to be able to understand how creation works. And so as a biochemist, we're talking about the things that are very small, but of course they involve things like health and disease and cancer and things like that. And we can do research on that with the students. And the better way to teach them is not just to talk to them about it, but to invite them into the laboratory and actually have them do the science, do the experiment, where you don't know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But they end up being able to do it, and they learn how it works, and we all learn how creation works, that God made us to be able to investigate creation this way. So that's what Maximus was saying. He was saying that each of us is a little laboratory where we're sort of experimenting on the world, and we're figuring out how it works. And God made us to do that.
Oh, I love it so much. Okay, so Benjamin, your work centers around the immune system, and of course, I mean, the work that's, here we are, it's apparently coming out of COVID, but everyone's been talking about their own immune system these last several years. How does that little laboratory and the immune system work with you, with science, how you look at God and how you worship God?
Yeah, that's... it starts with the education of the students. You have to learn about how the universe works. And you start from a conviction that there's something to find there. A lot of people don't realize that there are roots of science in Christianity, because it starts off with you saying, this creation is good. God made it and pronounced it good. and he made us and set us in it. And then he said, go forth, be fruitful, and figure out how these things work. We can ask these questions, and we can go into it, and we can sort of dig down into creation. So I literally do that in the lab right next door to my office.
Interesting.
I have a research lab where we have like an antibody binding machine. We can measure how antibodies bind to the infections that they stick to. And the students can go in there and we can make guesses about how the chemistry of those antibodies works, and we can see if we're right or not. And a lot of times we're wrong, right? A lot of science is getting it wrong, but then eventually trying again, trusting that there is an answer out there, and trusting that God let us be able to see into creation, to be able to do experiments and to understand the world that God made.
I love this.
Dr. Benjamin McFarland is with us, professor of biochemistry at Seattle Pacific University and part of the teaching group for Jubilee for Jubilee this year, which happens February 17th through 19th in downtown Pittsburgh. Benjamin, you mentioned earlier, when John brought up the whole, medieval thing and biochemistry thing, and you said, yeah, that's why it's great to teach at a place like Seattle Pacific. And I thought to myself, that's what you're talking about is like it's the problem with specialization, right? Is that in this era, people are so super specialized in what they learn about, what they study, what they either do their PhD work in or their career work in, whatever. But so that there's not enough time to, if you're a scientist, read some literature, or if you're an English professor, to find out more about astronomy. We're not very well-rounded people. And so I kind of want to ask you personally about how you feel about that, being in academics, and what it's like for you.
Yeah, well, it's one of the reasons why I went to a place like SPU, because I have always, I didn't really know what I wanted to do until I was halfway through college. And I always liked science, and I liked chemistry, and for some reason chemistry worked for me. That's just one of those things I really can't explain, but God made me to enjoy chemistry and to like the way things go together. So when I was halfway through college, I was interested in a lot of things, and then I heard the call to actually get a PhD. I believe that I heard that call from God when I was asking God, what do I do now? And I got a very clear answer that you should go this direction. And from there, it's always been, there's times of uncertainty where you're like, am I really going in the right direction? Is this the right thing? There's times when you run into all sorts of problems. But God's been with me all the way. And God has brought me, what's really cool about SPU is that we are all believing the same thing. We're believing that God made creation, God is good, and then we can talk to each other about it. And so that's the impulse behind this. It is kind of a medieval idea, because we do think about like medieval and Renaissance times, you could know more.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But that comes from actually this rooted in the idea of faith, that God made us to be here, and none of us can know everything, right? We have to specialize somewhat. But it's important for each of us in our specialties to reach out to the people who are not like us. And that's what God did in Jesus, So it's even a very theological way of looking at things. And it's also a lot of fun, You get to read things like C.S. Lewis, and he talks about chemistry and things like that. It's just a good way to live. We're made to do this.
I love that so much. So, Benjamin, clearly, Kathy and I, we are not scientists. We're the last thing that, have a connection to is science. But we're interested in the natural world. But you, of course, you're a doctor of science. And so I wonder, like in your day, when you get in your car to drive to wherever, and you put the key in the car and you turn on your Spotify playlist or whatnot, there's something that's different than you, than the average me and Kath. The way you listen to music, the way you engage the road, the way you think about the engine or the car, or all those things from a scientific perspective, but also emotionally, and as a child of God, that is so foreign to me. but we are still brothers and sisters in Christ. I just love the variety of how God makes that, that makes that difference in us, but also makes us the same. And so, when you're in the car and you're listening to Spotify, your view and your feeling and your emotion and your thought process totally different than what I would experience.
Yeah, and I think some of the other things that you've probably heard of the Enneagram system. And I'm a very much the investigator. I haven't even taken the test because I'm so sure that I'm the investigator when it comes to Enneagram.
No, we haven't taken it either. We kind of...
Yeah.
I think it's a cult.
Kathy, she says...
I'm just trying to be the last holdout.
Yeah. There's a type of Enneagram person who doesn't take the Enneagram. And
there we go. That's me. I don't know what number that is, but that's mine.
The skeptical one. Yeah, but
But there's a joy in it. Yeah. It's like even when I was... So there are some things that you are sort of made for that other people aren't. And being into chemistry is one of those things that not everyone's made for. I soon figured that out. But also I can find things in chemistry, and I love to bring those. I have kids, and I love to be able to do little chemical experiments with them. One of my kids just made slime, that slime stuff.
Yeah.
And I was able to show him exactly why it worked. Why do you have to add boron to glue to make slime? And to me, bringing it down to the periodic table, I think everybody sort of sees the periodic table and it's sort of mysterious, but to me, it's so beautiful because you have all these rows and columns, and these are all the elements there are in the entire universe. There's not a corner of the universe where there's some kind of extra element that we don't know about. God has given this way of knowing to us. And so it is a very, rows and columns, periodic table kind of way of looking at the world. And I definitely, as my wife reminds me, we need other perspectives. My wife's different from me, and we need each other, right?
Yeah.
And even need my kids to be able to look at the world differently. It's one of the joys of being able to go through it. But sort of bringing these things together in the way a family brings different people together, the church brings different people together, and even as you're investigating, chemistry brings different disciplines together. So like biology has chemistry in it, astronomy has chemistry in it, and I just love finding those connections. So I like being in the middle of things, being in my chemistry laboratory that's kind of like my brain, and looking around at the world and thinking about it that way.
And in the middle of all that, there's God in the form of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Whether it's chemistry or music or arts or mathematics, all those things are interconnected because of God.
Right. The word of creation that was spoken at the beginning of creation holds all things together, sustains us every day. And I think of that even literally as part of the bonding between atoms that holds them together. It's something about the language that Paul used about Christ. He uses this holds things together. And that's what Maximus was also reflecting on. And so I think that's a very deep theological thing that God is saying to us and what he did in Jesus.
Fabulous. Well, Dr. McFarland, we appreciate you being here with us. Looking forward to your entrance into Pittsburgh.
Yes, I'm looking forward to being there for the first time myself.
Excellent. Well, Pittsburgh and Seattle, in some ways, kindred cities, and I think you'll enjoy your time here.
I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. The Jubilee Conference coming up February 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's for college students, David L. Lawrence Convention Center, but it's also for you and I. Look for it online, JubileeConference.com. You'll hear people like Dr. McFarland and a host of people who know Jesus and are interested in the world. The notion of vocational calling assumes that there is a caller. And, of course, at Grove City College, they know that the caller is the living God. At Grove City, they're committed to helping us pursue God's vision for your life and believe that you will be charged as you find the sense and purpose in the working world. That is at the core of what Grove City does. The caller is there. The faculty, the staff, the students are all involved in that calling.
Mm-hmm. So when a student sees that website and reads that, I'm hoping that there's a change, that there's a difference, thinking that there's some force outside my house, my family, my school, who cares about my future, who's invested in my future.
Yep.
And so even if someone doesn't believe in God, is that a comfort to know that with all the options there are in the world, with all the places that I could go to school, with all the things that I could study, is there somebody who can direct me? And the faculty at Grove City College believe that God is that director. And I've seen through my family faculty members who have helped my kids understand that they're listening to God, the faculty is, my kids are listening to God, and they're working together to pursue a big and bold future.
The calling is yours. Grove City College, gcc.edu.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you got to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. I know, it's mind-blowing. Towels that actually dry you. Their 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors, and right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $49.99 with promo code WORD. Or go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener special. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and have their 60-day money-back guarantee. To receive this amazing offer on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, enter promo code WORD, or call 800-391-0954. That's 800-391-0954. Or visit MyPillow.com, promo code WORD.
Discover the magnificence of the Mediterranean with Alistair Begg and our trusted partner, Inspiration Cruises and Tours. 9 life-changing days of powerful worship, Bible study, and history. Sign up now, deeperfaithcruise.com.
Listen on your smart speaker at wordfm.com, the Word FM app, iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. In your car or at home, too, at 101.5 WORD-FM, Pittsburgh.
It'll be breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy skies and cold tonight. We'll reach a nighttime low of 7. Times of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Tomorrow's high 33. A moonlit sky tomorrow night, the low 29, but temperatures rising into the middle 30s. Sunday will be mostly cloudy and windy. We'll see a dramatic warm-up after the brief Arctic blast we've experienced. We'll reach a high Sunday of 46. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon.
Here's a great story about a kid. For more than 1,000 nights, 14-year-old Isaac Ortman has slept beneath the stars in his backyard in Duluth, Minnesota, including a night when the temperature dipped to minus 38 below.
Wait a minute. Why is he sleeping outside?
It started as a whimsical self-challenge at his family's cabin about 30 miles from home when he was 11. It is now a nightly routine that Isaac says he'll continue through high school, maybe longer. He says, I don't see it ending anytime soon. I might even keep going through college. He's a Boy Scout. He said, it's a lot of fun. I'm not ready to stop. January 12th of this year, he celebrated his 1,000th night of sleeping outside. Cozied up inside a snow shelter called a Quizzy that he and some of his scouting friends from Troop 15 built at Lakeside Presbyterian Church in Duluth. While most of his nights have been in the backyard for the milestone, Isaac's parents let him sleep alone in the Quizzy next to the building where he attends Boy Scout meetings with his dad, Andrew, who is the Troop Scouts master. He says, I never get tired of it. Every night is a new adventure. And he said, I broke my left wrist a year ago. I came home from the emergency room and I was like back outside. It's always what I want to do. He said, it's like the time we saw a bear walk up to our patio door. 30 minutes later, I was brushing my teeth and getting ready to go outside to sleep. Isn't that cool?
I love that.
I mean, we used to sleep outside.
First of all,
as
I would
kids.
never do that.
1,000 consecutive nights. Yeah.
I really admire him.
I know. It's super cool. He said, I was sleeping outside of our cabin. He's 14. He's been doing it since he's 11. He said, He said his dad said that Isaac did a lot of research to find the best equipment to keep him warm and safe. He found a waterproof hammock to string up in the yard. He's got a couple of sleeping bags under quilts and over quilts that he can add depending on how cold it is.
So he's not in a tent.
No.
He's on a hammock.
Here he is in a little hammock. Super cool.
That's really funny.
Yeah. He says he usually sleeps in his clothes. He adds an insulated hood to keep warm during the winter. Goes over his entire face. After 2 years and 9 months of this routine, he says he prefers snow, rain, and wind to the heat and humidity of summer. Unless it's below zero, I like to stick one of my legs out at night so I don't get too hot. If you're cold, you can always put on layers. But in the summer, there's only so much you can take off. You get all sweaty. Plus, there's mosquitoes.
I was going to say, what does he do about bugs? That would be bad.
Yep. She says, the mom says, Melissa, she says, I remember a recent night when he had 102-degree fever. He still stuck with it and went outside. He wanted to see it through. And since he started doing this, he's grown in a lot of ways and not just in his size. Family vacations require advanced planning so that Isaac can sleep in a campground with his dad and his mom and older sister. They all stay in a motel. He's also slept on a fishing boat when it's parked in a motel parking lots. He says, I guess a lot of people find this unusual, but to me, it's just normal now. People are so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 1,000 nights plus sleeping outside.
Jeez. All right, we're going to step away, but when we come back, the week in review. What have we been talking about? Reading, eating.
Hacked.
What are we mad about?
Good news. All that.
All that coming up.
Week in review.
The Ride Home.
101.5 WORD.
Nothing says I love you more than winning $2,000 for your sweetheart. Enter the $2,000 Valentine's Day sweepstakes. It is $2,000 for you to spend on your sweetie. Increase your opportunity to win when you enter up to once per day between now and February 12th. And complete bonus activities to give you more entries.
Sign up to win at wordfm.com.
This message is for anyone looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or are taking anxiety meds. Here's an example. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe overweight with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost about $200 a month. We're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. If you've had prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or are on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Get a quick quote right now by visiting termprovider.com. That's termprovider.com, or simply call Term Provider at 800-333-1750. If you're looking for term life insurance but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider at 800-333-1750. That's 800-333-1750.
My son Finn was born with congenital heart disease. He ended up spending about the first 8 months of his life in the hospital. During that time, he endured 10 surgeries, including an open heart surgery. Starlight Children's Foundation has played an important role in my family's life. For 5 weeks when he was a baby, Finn lived in a Starlight Hero wagon. You could not understand the pure joy of having him go from a hospital bed into his favorite red wagon. Starlight doesn't just give items that hospitalized kids can use to keep themselves happy, but also memories, moments, and experiences which are so needed in times like these. They allow sick kids to just be kids for a little while. The support that Starlight provides to families like mine is an integral part to creating happiness at a time when there's very little to be found. Learn more about how Starlight Children's Foundation brightens the lives of sick kids by visiting starlight.org today.
Timeless wisdom, encouraging proverbs, and powerful promises. At BibleStudyTools.com, we aim to provide the best free resources for knowing the Word of God and applying its powerful truths to your life. Use BibleStudyTools.com's daily Bible verse for inspiration as you start each day. Find powerful verses on more than 300 topics that relate to your life's challenges and needs. Verses to encourage your soul, lift your spirit, and strengthen your faith. Visit BibleStudyTools.com. That's BibleStudyTools.com.
It's been another week. That means it's time for John and Kathy's Week in Review. What was everyone talking about this week?
I would say two things. The China balloon and the cold weather.
I would say China in general, because not just the balloon. I would say the future conflict with China over Taiwan. Remember the leak by the Air Force general
that
this week?
We're going to go to war with China
in
within
2 years. Right.
That's worrying, isn't it?
That was worrying. And I also think that people are talking about pit basketball. It might just be me.
I think it is.
It might just be me.
It's a small subset.
But pit basketball is great. In case you're not keeping track, they did beat Miami and North Carolina in the same week.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
What was a conversation that made you think?
There's been a lot of conversations.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
But there are many things that I carry with me. Two things. I'm going to say two things. Hugh Ross.
That was so good.
Heaven above us and hell below us. I thought
that was such a good conversation.
The dimensions that will be in heaven with different dimensions,
right,
and won't be able to interact, but will participate and see in some way.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah. So Hugh was saying that people who have died. How does he know this, though?
He's just speculating.
How did he know that? He's just okay. The people who have died are as believers, are watching. So, we're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses,
yes.
Hebrews 11 says. So.
Not commenting, not engaging.
Right.
But part of the deal.
Right. That was very interesting.
And the dimensions.
And then he was talking about the new heavens and the new earth and all the dimensional realities, possibilities of the time and space restrictions that we have now not being present. It was really good.
Fascinating. I thought about that,
really,
and I also
really
thought
good.
about yesterday, you and Alyssa Wilkinson talking.
That's what I brought up. Thursday show, 5:10, Alyssa Wilkinson, who's a writer for Vox.com, was talking about why we both like to eat out alone at restaurants.
Yeah.
And it was a fun conversation. So if you missed Hugh or Alyssa or anything else this week, you can always find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on 40 different platforms. So just look for The Ride Home with John and Kathy.
What are you reading?
I'm continuing on with this book that I also find fascinating. It's called The Awe of God. And this the author is a man who I did not know. So many things come across our desk, and I grabbed onto this. The Awe of God by a man by the name of John Bevere. And his key point is this, that fearing God is different than being afraid of God. And the fear of God, of course, is paramount to our belief in how we live our Christian life. But being afraid of God is contrary to the love of God. It's a fascinating insight, and I'm just greatly enjoying this book called The Awe of God.
I'm reading Surrender by Bono. This is his book that came out a little before Christmas. I'm maybe halfway through at this point, listening to it on audio. I also have the book, so I kind of can do both things. But listening to him tell the story, I don't know if you're a fan of U2 or not, but he's just a wonderful writer, in my opinion. I know we've had guests on who are just slamming him. That's okay. They can slam him. But I'm enjoying it a lot. Also, I'm reading Under the Wings of God by Cornelius Plantinga. You're still reading that too, right?
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah. It's like it's a
daily
is it 20 or 30?
I think it's 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Reflections.
Devotions, reflections, yeah.
What did you eat?
Okay, this kind of like goes back to my winter thing that I found myself doing this. We've done this a couple of times in the past few weeks. It's always so deeply satisfying and so simple to do. I'm having breakfast for dinner, which here's what I'm doing. This is so basic.
You're doing that tonight?
No, I did it. What's today? Friday. I did it Tuesday night.
Okay.
My wife's working late. I'm like, okay, I'm doing bacon in the oven, super peasy easy, toast with some cherry jam. And then I'm doing 3 eggs sunny side up.
Yes, you are doing 3 eggs.
Sunny side up.
And doesn't that feel good?
Oh, man.
And are you cooking that in a nonstick skillet, in a cast iron skillet?
Nonstick.
You're doing nonstick.
Yeah. But the eggs, they get a little crispy on the outer edge.
I love that.
It's just so simple and so good. I don't know. For a quick, easy, delicious meal, we're doing breakfast.
You can't beat that.
No, you can't. What do you got?
Try to eat seeds.
Seeds? What do you...
You guys, they're supposed to be good for you.
Yeah,
like your sunflower seeds, your pumpkin seeds.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Kind of thing.
Don't you love sunflower seeds?
No.
What? You don't?
I really don't. I had them yesterday. I had them again today. I'm trying to, maximize my health benefits.
Non-salted.
They're not great, John.
Are they in the red box with a Cherokee Indian?
Thank you for asking, but no.
Oh.
They're fine. I mean, I don't know what. Whatever. It's okay.
Then don't do it. Life's too short. Forget it.
Because it's a healthy thing. It's like nuts and seeds.
Who
nuts
cares?
and seeds. I eat a lot of nuts, so I figure I should eat some seeds.
Yeah, what happened when you ate nuts?
Yeah, well, I did end up with a kidney stone.
There
That's
you go.
A story for another
so
time.
Please, life's short. Don't. You're like beating yourself up.
I'm not beating myself up, but I don't think seeds are very good.
Okay, then don't do it.
What did you watch?
We are greatly enjoying, this has become a thing here at the station, a PBS series called All Creatures Great and Small.
Oh, my God.
Season 3. We are now on episode 4.
Let me guess. It's beautiful, charming, and you kind of have gotten choked up a couple times.
Multiple times. We have to pause it. It's so beautiful. There are so many things that are beautiful about it. First of all, the geography
is amazing.
And then the house.
Oh.
The color scheme. The
animals.
Yeah. I mean, the farmers, the community. I love it. It's like a
so
perfect.
Good.
Yeah,
It could be my favorite TV show of all time. Seriously, it could be.
I think it could be.
That's how much I love it. But I'm not watching that right now.
Okay, All Creatures Great and Small.
PBS.
Now we subscribe. We give $5 a month or something like that to the PBS station, so we get it.
Mm-hmm. I bought the PBS app.
Okay.
On Amazon or BritBox or one of those two.
Do yourself a favor.
It's so good.
All Creatures Great and Small.
So good.
Yep.
But I'm not watching it yet. I watched Magpie Murders, which is a Masterpiece Theater presentation. It's a dramatization of a book by Anthony Horowitz, and it's so great. It's great. It's 8 episodes. It stars Conleth Hill, Leslie Manville, and you don't often see a leading lady in a TV show who's 68 years old. You just rarely see that.
Right.
And she's so terrific. She's just one. Anyway, if you like a murder mystery type of thing, if you like British production, you're going to love Magpie Murders.
What hacked you off?
The earnings report from the major oil companies were released this week. They were record profits to the tune of $190 billion.
Oh, my God.
$190 billion profits from big oil. Meanwhile, they crush us at the pump. We pay more and more and more and more and more. How is this allowed? When I read stuff like this, I go, you're like in despair. Everything, if it falls into the conspiracy thing of everything's rigged. Mm-hmm. Everything's against, the little guy. And we just get the life sucked out of us. And these guys, these fat cats, it's obscene. It should be illegal. That hacks me off to no end.
I lost my health insurance during COVID and as a cutback. And so I had to buy private health insurance, which requires me oftentimes to pay up front for procedures. So I have to pay in cash. So if I'm going to get something done, John, I have to pay $1,000.
Yeah.
I have to pay $2,000 or whatever it is. And then I have to wait for an itemized bill from the hospital so that I can submit that to the private insurance and get reimbursed.
Sure.
Well, it took me 9 months to get an itemized bill from Allegheny Health Network.
How many phone calls?
8.
8 phone calls.
8 phone calls where I spent 30, 45 minutes on the phone each time, explaining the situation, giving my home address for the jillionth time, the date of the procedure, whatever.
Talking to a different person every time.
Talking to a different person every time. Now, I just got it yesterday, but why in the world? And you know why I got it? Because I finally, on my 9th time, called and lost my mind. Mm-hmm. I just had to scream and yell and be miserable, and that's how I got it. Now, there's no reason why you should have to, just to get an itemized bill. It's not like I'm asking them for money. I'm just asking them for something. I'm just asking them for an itemized bill.
So you can get your money.
Right, and I had to resort to being miserable, and that's what worked. So all the other times I was nice and understanding, I was just a sap.
See, and that just feeds into the whole thing, right?
Hacks me off.
What was the best news you heard this week?
We got a cat. We have not had a cat for 4 years. Our Spark, the freest animal of all creation.
Super excited.
Yeah, so White Oak animal, I'm not sure what.
Shelter, maybe?
Maybe. Excellent. We get this cat. He's so pretty. We brought him home, and you know how it is when you get a cat. They're totally freaked out. Mm-hmm. So he's in hiding right now, And so we're being just very gentle and,
He's trying to figure out what's happened to his world.
Right.
He doesn't know how good he has it. But that's the best news I heard this week, too. I'm just super excited about your cat.
Got a cat. Very nice. Dig it.
What have you been listening to?
I've got this thing lately where I've been on a hymn jag.
Have you?
Yeah. And so I've been listening to this.
Is that Johnny Cash? That's so gorgeous.
Isn't that something? If you would look at Johnny Cash's catalog, there are several forays, several albums into hymns.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's beautiful.
Just him and his guitar.
That is beautiful.
That singular voice.
I absolutely love that. All right, this is what I've been listening to.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you got to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. I know, it's mind-blowing. Towels that actually dry you. Their 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors, and right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $49.99 with promo code WORD. Or go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener special. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and have their 60-day money-back guarantee. To receive this amazing offer on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, enter promo code WORD, or call 800-391-0954. That's 800-391-0954. Or visit MyPillow.com, promo code WORD.
Late summer this year, you can join Alistair Begg on a fascinating Mediterranean cruise.
One of my favorite places to visit is Corfu, Greece, to soak in stunning views of whitewashed churches and thatched-roofed windmills in what is essentially a scenic playground. Then, the privilege of turning to the Bible to gain new insights from the history of the storied location, and to discover again how Scripture gains fresh meaning when we're moving in this part of the world.
Join Alistair Begg for a once-in-a-lifetime Mediterranean cruise. Immerse yourself in the wonder of some of the world's most famous cathedrals, museums, and works of art. We'll be sailing on Norwegian Cruise Line's newest ship, the luxurious Viva. For details, log on to deeperfaithcruise.com. Then call 855-565-5519 to join. 855-565-5519. Inspiration Cruises and Tours is a trusted partner of Salem Media Group.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Hey, just a reminder. Here it is. What's today? The 3rd.
Yep.
The Valentine Dinner Cruise next Friday.
It's already next Friday.
Next Friday. A night out on the Three Rivers featuring a great dinner, fabulous views of the city. We will be your host and hostess.
We will.
The Word FM Gateway Clipper Cruise, wordfm.com.
And we still have tickets available.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. That's because they bumped us to the bigger boat.
Right. Not a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
But listen, if you've been... I've been thinking about Valentine's Day. I got something in the mail here that, I ordered something ahead of time just to be ready. So if you're thinking about this, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Right? Treat yourself and go out. Join us. We had a really great time in the summertime. It'll be the same thing, just be a little colder.
Considerably colder, and I'm going to be wearing boots probably.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. And,
great time.
For those hardy stalwarts, I guess you could go outside.
Sure,
right?
if you want to. Why wouldn't?
Well, we're going to go outside and try it.
I mean, we're going to go outside.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Wouldn't it be cool if we had some snow?
Oh, snow. If it was snowing while we were out in the river.
Yeah, what if we were like an icebreaker?
That would be awesome. But here's the thing. It's going to be 50 degrees on Monday.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what the end of the week is going to be.
Weather changes on a dime here, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, wordfm.com. We would highly encourage you to do this. Come and join us. It's going to be super cool, fun. I would say fairly inexpensive for a night out on the town.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure. Fun and frivolity will be had by all.
Full meal, dessert included as well. And I think there's prizes, some giveaways. And Trinity Jewelers, Mark Helgerman.
Oh, is Mark going to be there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Got a nice prize from Mark.
Wonderful.
So come and join us, right?
WordFM.com,
the Valentine Dinner Cruise.
I think this is
next Friday.
I anticipate this is the longest cruise that I'll ever be taking.
No, don't say that. Don't you want to go like one of those like Viking European cruises?
Oh, I do want to do that.
Yes, of course. I'd love to do that.
But I don't want to go on one of those huge cruise ships.
I'd like to go on Queen Elizabeth, the QE2. I'd like to go across the ocean.
That's scary. No. You don't think that's better to you somehow than like a Caribbean cruise line?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Why?
because there's a destination. I'm going to leave and then I'm going to go to Europe, as opposed to just floating around and going to and playing games and people acting untoward. Anyway.
The Ride Home with John and Kathy, a production of Salem Media Group.
This is Carol Platt-Liebau for townhall.com. It's hard to unite Senate Democrats and Republicans these days, but Biden's National Intelligence Director, Avril Haines, has managed to do just that. She's refused to show members of the Senate Intelligence Committee copies of the classified documents discovered in Donald Trump and Joe Biden's possession. Her excuse? The special counsel investigations of both. What nonsense. As Democrat Mark Warner pointed out, the Senate Intelligence Committee was regularly briefed, even as a special counsel investigated Donald Trump for supposed collusion with the Russians. At this point, with many Americans doubtful about its integrity and motives, the intelligence bureaucracy would be wise to choose transparency. Instead, it's raising bipartisan suspicions. There's a problem when unelected, unaccountable officials feel so invincible they can treat the people's representatives so dismissively. It's just one more sign that it's time for fundamental reform of America's intelligence services. I'm Carol Platt-Liebau.
Ask Alexa to play the word Pittsburgh to hear us there. We're on your Google speaker too, plus iHeart, TuneIn, and on Odyssey. 101.5 WORD FM, Pittsburgh.